Welcome to practice. My name is Selena Garofino. If you are enjoying these programs, I invite you to become a paid subscriber. It supports me in being able to deliver this content to you. I host 200-hour, 300-hour, 500-hour retreats and breathwork trainings all over the world and online. I have a 200-hour digital virtual teacher training that is really reasonable and has a monthly gathering for my students if you are keen to study with me. I also offer culturally immersive, really special yoga retreats all over the world. You can find information about all of these programs on my website. My weekly newsletter is really rich writing and programming, and I would invite you into that space if you'd like to connect more. Today's practice is about the content and the context of our lives. There's this quote from Catherine Tanis, the Zen writer, that says, "We must have a desperate desire to see life as it is." The content of our lives is whatever is happening. It's the situation of the moment. It's the circumstances. And that often in the immediate moment, we can't change it. It is what it is. It's happening, or it just happened. The context is the meaning we make. It's the feelings we have about it. It's the beliefs that we hold about the situation. It's the new theories we create about the world, the attitudes we hold. It's all of that. And the context makes up more of the situation than the actual content does a lot of the time. And the context that we are creating decides the quality of the next moment and of what happens next and of what happens in the future. The content that is occurring or already occurred is not we tend to it by bringing the right context to it. We'll put it this way. If there are things in our lives that we are making wrong, we're saying this shouldn't be happening. My answer to that is, but baby, it is. And so what we have to bring our joyful, parental, nourishing, kind mind to is the context. We have to shift to a place where we're not resisting our circumstances or practicing avoidance, but instead bringing our tender care and attentiveness to every single thing with full acceptance. This shifts our lives. All of these practices we do, the yoga, the breath work, the personal development coaching, all of this stuff is designed to deepen our relationship with self, so that more of the time we can be self-led and stay anchored in creativity, compassion, curiosity, kindness, and to bring that mind to everything in our lives. This is the practice. This is the ongoing work, is how do I shift the context so that I can have a desperate desire to see life as it is and receive the beauty of that. We're building a net that's big enough that we can hold pain over something and still hold our joyful mind, that we can be pulled by a crest and fall of a wave in life and still see the stability. It's asking us to be more than one thing, and this is really what equanimity is. It's to see with understanding. We're going to play with a Katonah practice anchored in forward folds today, which really are for, in the esoteric dialogue, the kidneys. In Chinese medicine, the kidney, and in the Katonah dialogue, it is our wisdom and our sentience, but when they're out of balance, it's our fear. It's our personal depths. This is a wonderful practice for winter, anytime you need to recharge yourself and tend to that piece of yourself. When we are in our wisdom, we are in a context that is nourishing. We can bring that parental, nourishing, joyful mind to every circumstance. So with that, we're going to begin. We're going to start by flushing things out with a little bit of breath. I'm sitting on a block between my heels on its lowest height and the long direction. If this is uncomfortable for you, sit on a towel or a blanket. But get yourself right on your perineum and then stretch your arms up to the sky, an equilateral triangle for strength, structure, and stability, and make cups in your palms so that when gift waves, which are always raining down, you can receive them. Kapalabhati breath is a forceful exhale out the nose. We're going to snap the navel point back and let the inhale happen naturally. We'll go for about a minute. So when you're ready, first take a deep breath in through your nose and a big sigh. Let something go. And then take a breath in and begin the practice. Go out, 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 out. You can go nice and slow, like a steady pump, or you can go really fast, like a little bunny rabbit running through the fields, making that little as you wish. Pump the breath out for about a minute. This is a psychic cleanse for the astral eye. I want you to think you are emptying yourself out so that you can fill up. You are emptying out anywhere where you are making life wrong so that you can start to shift towards what it is that you want to create, putting yourself squarely on the cause side of your life. Keep bumping the breath out, out, out. Just about 20 more breaths. Out, 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 out. Maybe speed it up for this last little bit. Good. Exhale completely. Stay empty of air. Hook your thumbs over your head. Take a deep breath in. 3 sips through your mouth. 1 more sniff. Hold everything completely full and then exhale and let it drop. If your eyes are closed, flutter them open. And let's turn towards the long edge of the mat. Have the blocks nearby where you can reach them, blankets or towels as always. And then bring your hands directly underneath of your shoulders and walk your knees back just a little bit, setting up for downward facing dog. Send your seat back towards your heels so that your belly is on your thighs. Keep your thighs in your belly and lift your seat up, still finding this deep connection in the hip crease and the belly to the thighs. And then keep lifting, and start to sink your heels towards the floor. Good. We're going to do that again. Bend the knees deeply, drop and hover the knees off of the floor, going right into some heat. And then lift your hips, keeping the contact belly to thigh, belly to thigh. Good. Let's do that one more time. Drop the knees, hovering over the floor, less of a drop, a controlled descent. And then lift your seat up nice and high. Good. Now here, staying on the balls of the feet, descend the heels still towards the mat. So you're set up like a 60-degree triangle. Wrap your armpits towards your heart. And let's make this a little more formal. Shift yourself forward to a plank pose. Send your heels back, pull the low belly up and in. Wrap your armpits forward, collarbones east and west. Stack your shoulders directly over your wrists so you have that 90-degree angle. And then when you lift your buttock bones up and back to down dog, you'll be at 60 degrees. Good. Play that a couple times. Go forward to the plank and then back to the dog. Good. Do that a few times. Flush yourself out. Go at a speed that feels nourishing to you. In, X, in, X. Good. Last time. And then hold it back in that downward facing dog. Buttock bones lifted nice and high. And then walk your feet about halfway up your mat, or all the way as you wish. Hands back to your feet. And find your first hang. Measure 2 fists between the arches of your feet. Take opposite palm to opposite elbow. Think that you're lifting and spreading your buttock bones and really get into the fold of the hip crease. So bend the knees, sending the thighs slightly forward. And then tap into the breath. Your breath is a portal. Every conscious breath is a portal to a higher quality in the next moment, even if it's small. Think that it's almost like you're dumping the contents of the mind to the floor here. And as the knees bend and you soften through the torso, there's a real nourishment and a flush for that esoteric dialogue of the kidneys. Take 3 more breaths. Last breath, really present with whatever's rising. Very good. If you don't have it already, take the frame opposite palm to opposite elbow. Get the arms right alongside of your ears and bend your knees deeply and lift your torso parallel to the spine. I want you to imagine, parallel to the floor, that you're being pulled apart from your hips to your elbows. Super strong in the legs, tailbone back, sternum forward. And then keep lifting your chest. Come into the chair pose and push all the way up to stand. Send your pubis forward. And then release your arms at your side. Very good. Nice. Spin your toes open a little bit, heels in, and settle yourself into a squat. And for a moment here, shift side to side, drop one knee, you can get your hands involved, lifting up the heel, drop the other. Play with starting to just open up some of the mobility in your ankles and your heels. I'm putting a little spiral into it now. You can start to play with taking right hand over to the left side of the mat and then left hand over to the right side, just playing a little bit of fluency here. And then come back to the center in that squat. Hug the elbows to the inside of the knees. Squeeze the knees to the elbows, fingertips touching. Lift your chest, nice steady breath. Just starting to gently coax ourselves into our practice. Good, 2 more big breaths. Very nice. Now from here, nice and easy, straighten your legs, torso parallel to the floor. Take your hands back and spin your heels parallel to one another. And then reverse it, go the other way, nice and slow. Sink and drop the hands forward. You can keep your hands on the floor for support here. Open the heels, toes pointing forward, heels slightly in, and squat. And if you're like me, there might be some crackling and popping. It's normal, as long as there's no pain there, carry on. And do about 10 of these. Seat back, chest forward, building some real heat and stability through the lower body. 5, 4, good. Last 3, last 2, last 1, good. Squat back down. Once again, lift the seat back up, straighten the legs, and now fold over your legs in this slightly widened position. Grab onto your heels, scoop them up in the palms of your hands if you can, knees towards your armpits, buttock bones high, and let it fall. Heart rate might be slightly elevated from those little squats. Can you give just direct experiencing, direct encounter to whatever's rising, whatever you're feeling, without naming it as painful or frustration or whatever? Just, I'm experiencing a lot of sensation right now. Good. Unhook from the heels, plant your hands, and walk your feet back to downward facing dog. Again, and bend in the knees so you can get your seat nice and high. Fold in the hip crease. Very good. Super nice, gorgeous. And then lower yourself down onto your knees. Take your left leg and reach it back behind you and stretch your right arm forward out in front of you. And now curl your right elbow towards your left knee, squeeze in on yourself. Reach it back nice and long, and then tap the ground with your right fingertips and your left foot. Lift it back up, tap back down again. Lift it back up, and now return to the start position, other side. Left hand, right leg, reach long. Squeeze into the midline, hold your center. Reach long. Tap the floor. Lift back up. Hand and foot tap. Lift back up. Return to the start position. Couple more sets on each side. Reach your right hand and left leg away. Curl in and squeeze to the midline. Reach long. Tap the floor. Lift. Tap back down. Lift. Return to the start position. Left hand, right leg, reach away from each other. Find the middle. Reach. Tap. Lift. Tap. Lift. And center. Last time, little change up. Right hand, left leg, reach. Squeeze to the middle. Big reach long. Tap. Lift. Tap. Lift. Listen, just the right hand down. Good. Point your toe on your left foot and make tiny circles. So the reason I'm playing with all this stability work in the legs, stability work in the core, change directions of the circle, is this is how we hold ourselves up. and it frees up the imagination. It gives us real range. Nice big breath. Good. Pause in the center. Turn your left toes away from you. And now take your left leg out to the side and plant your foot on the ground. Bend your knee and now make some yummy hip circles around yourself. You can let the knee bend. I'm letting my foot come off of the floor. Send your hips way back behind you. Change directions. Big, full, obnoxious, oceanic breath. Sometimes a breath out the mouth is so nourishing. Good. Come back to the center of yourself. And we'll take a little rotation here. Right palm on the floor and take your left arm up to the sky. Open it up. If you wish, you can flip the bottom wrist. Back bend a little bit towards the top of the mat. Nice big expansive breath. Good. Take your left hand back down and then swing your left leg back in so you're on all fours. Plant the tops of the feet and take a couple cat-cows. I'm using a little bit of speed. And back to the center. Very good. Left leg and right arm reach away from each other. Squeeze to the midline. Reach back long. Tap the floor and lift. Tap the floor. Lift it up. Hold. Left hand down. Point your right toe. Make tiny circles. Just lighting up the right side of the seat. Good. Present for all the sensations. Spin it left. Hold here. Turn the right toes out and take your right foot all the way out to the side. And then again, make those big hip circles all the way around yourself. Change directions. We're playing strong, but we're also playing with steadiness and stability and softness. All these things can be true. Even holding a sort of net of paradox in the practice. Come back to the center. Left hand down, right arm up. Flip your right palm towards the crown of your head. Back bend a little bit as you spin. So you're really opening up, expanding. So good. Take your right hand back down to the mat and return your right foot back to the center. I'm practicing right in front of my little heater here and it's on high. I feel like I'm in a hot yoga studio. Curl your toes under and come up and back to downward facing dog once again. Good. Drop the knees again, hovering them over the floor. And now this time, round your back, spring forward like you were rolling through the spine all the way into a toes curled under upward facing dog. And then seat up and back. 2 more times, hover the knees. Push through the balls of the feet. Start to launch yourself forward as you roll. Articulate through the spine. Back into the up dog. 1 more time. Buttock bones up and back. Bend and hover the knees. And roll forward. So good. And back to down dog. Gorgeous. Walk your feet in a little bit. And then step your right foot forward and pin your left heel down. So you're in sort of a shortened pyramid pose. And interlace your fingers and then slide your hands, palms down, underneath of your right foot. If you can. Obviously, you can modify this, hands on a block, etc. Put some weight into the backs of your hands and fold over your legs. Couple big full breaths here. Very nice. Good. We're going to switch sides. Walk your left foot in, right foot back, and wiggle your hand under your foot or your foot under your hand. I just cheated a little bit. You can too. Hug that left hip back behind you and fold. The container of a practice is always so interesting. We get to see how we are in any given day, how we're responding to things. We get to ask, where else does this show up? Maybe it doesn't, but it's a good question. I'm after a little more ease today, so I willfully and joyfully cheated. So good. One more breath. Very nice. Walk the right foot in a little bit. Get out of there. Shake your hands out, and then measure again 2 fists between the arches for another hang. Scoop up the heels this time. Get your knees in your armpits. Send your thighs forward to your belly. Draw the scapula down the back. All the tension out of the head and the neck. A little more forward towards the ball of the foot. Lift the buttock bones. Very good. Under the clasp of the heels, bend your knees deeply and roll your spine up through the knees forward, the thighs, pubic bone, all the way up to stand. Very nice. Grab a blanket or a towel, whatever you got, and place it on your mat, towards the back of the mat, and step your heels onto it. Very good. Take a big breath in, stretch your arms up, and then trace the center line and fold. Gorgeous. Pick up your heels again. It'll feel different with the virtue of the blanket helping you to get into the ball of the foot. Nice. 2 more big breaths. Last breath. So good. Release your heels and take a very narrow squat. Some of you might need a second blanket. That's just fine. I'm keeping my feet hip distance apart. If that doesn't serve you, you can shift that a little bit or grab a second blanket or fold up this blanket a little more strongly. Make fists in your hands, and now you're going to rock forward onto your shins with a delighted smile, and then heels back, arms forward. Good. Again. Pick up a little bit of speed, playing, being tucked in on yourself, playing the movement, the counterbalance. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Pause and hold. Well done. Widen the squat a little bit. Take your elbows to the inside of your knees once again and spin it open. Right hand to the inside of right leg, left arm high. Roll it open. Left hand to the inside of left leg, right arm high. Spin it open. So good. Back to the middle. A couple choices here. You can hold a more neutral squat and repeat the squat to stand that we did up earlier. Otherwise, once again, bring your feet hips distance apart or wider if you need to. Grab the heels and now bend and straighten. Bend to the squat and straighten. Fleshing it out. 5, 4 more. 3, 2. Last time. Very good. Unhook your hands from your heels. Lower your seat as gracefully as you can onto the blanket and extend your legs. A little moment in a seated forward fold. Feet are hip distance apart. Drag the heels back to find a little bend in the knee. Get right on your perineum. Stretch your arms up and fold forward. Really, this is just the replication of what we did standing. 5 breaths here. This is a real longevity pose. It's a kidney pose. It's a recharge your batteries pose. My invitation to you for a couple moments here is let every exhale be a real release, even if it's something you can't name. Every exhale is an emptying. Every in-breath is an expansion and a nourishment. See if you can let go of something you're making wrong, where you can shift the context with even a little bit of tenderness. Very good. Last breath. Lengthen the front of your spine. Go forward to come up. Very good. We're going to come forward to a down dog. Slide the blanket out of the way. Roll over your ankles or however you want to get there. And back to our downward facing dog. Very good. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Bend your left knee. So nice. And now walk your hands back to your left foot. I'm going to hit the bookshelf. I'm going to hop forward a little bit, give myself a little more space. You stay where you are. Walk your hands back to your left foot and grab a hold of your ankle if you can and lift it up. Lift your chest. Right leg is high. Spin your right thigh towards the floor. Draw the heads of the arm bones back. Good. Another moment. I'm cheating. My foot's on the bookshelf, you guys. Good. Nice. Walk your hands forward and lower your right foot down to meet your left. Take a moment. I have a very small space, so if you do too, maybe your foot was in a wall or a bookshelf. Good. Bend the knees once again. Lift the right leg, left leg up to the sky and bend your right knee into your chest. Full acceptance of life as it is. And walk your hands back to your right foot. Standing splits. And again, grab a hold of the right leg if you can, of your right foot. Plug the heads of the arm bones back. That's it. Play with the balance today, honoring wherever it is, whatever's happening for you today. Can you be with it without judging it? So good. Crawl your hands back forward to the three-legged down dog and lower your left foot down. Beautiful. Walk your hands to the back of your mat to your feet. Widen the feet a little bit and just sway side to side. Let go of the tension. If there's tension present, a little swing side to side. So nice, you guys. Gorgeous. Once again, hands back forward to downward facing dog. And now lunge your right foot between your hands. Now from here, turn and pivot to the long edge of your mat. Fold over your legs. Grab onto the backs of your ankles, your heels. Inhale, take your heart forward. And exhale and fold down. Buttock bones nice and high. Steady breath. What in your life is asking for your attention? For you to loosen your hold on, for you to accept. Breathe into that. Every breath is a portal to a higher quality in the next moment, even if it seems small. Very good. Take your right hand to your left ankle. Lift your sternum a little bit, bend your knees a little bit, and twist. Take the left arm up. And then cross your left arm over your right. Grab your opposite ankle, bend your knees. Take the right arm up and twist. Good. Play that again. Switch sides. Keep going. You can speed it up a little bit if you wish. Swimming from side to side. I'm bending my knees as I rotate. And if you want, you can actually stop grabbing the leg and let it be a little more free. You're not swinging the arms. It's still being led by the legs, by the ground of being. But play a little bit. Doesn't need to look like mine. One more time. To both sides. So good. And then back to the center and fold again. Grab onto the heels. Turn towards the top of the mat, pivot, and step back. Down dog. Buttock bones nice and high. Last time through the squat, walk your feet forward. Just come maybe 2/3 of the way up the mat and squat again. And then gracefully as you can, lower your seat down. I need to scoot back a little bit. Butterfly the knees open into a Baddha Konasana. Sit up nice and tall and fold yourself over. And then don't get too excited here. Lengthen your sternum, bring your knees together and lift your shins. You can hold on or you can straighten your legs. Paripurna Navasana. And then bend your knees and shoot them out wide into a little baby straddle and fold forward. I haven't done this one in a while. It's an oldie but a goodie little series. Good, and come back up, knees together. Again, you can always assist with your hands. And the butterfly. Fold forward. Lift up, boat pose. Soft smile helps. And our straddle. Fold down. Present for the sensations, direct experiencing. Zero need for it to be anything than what it is. Back up, boat pose. Last set, butterfly. Boat pose, soft smile. We're almost there. Straddle. Boat pose, 5 breaths. Stay here. Get so steady, so focused. Soft smile, 1 more breath. Good, bend your knees, hug your knees, relax. Well done. Grab a blanket and slide it under your seat. Little simple spinal rotation. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Take your right foot to the outside of your left knee. Optionally, squeeze the left heel in. Let your head be the last thing to turn. Nice and gentle. Move into a spinal rotation. Broaden your collarbones. Hook the knee. Bring the knee to the elbow to the outside of the knee. Whatever you wish. Most important is the broadening of the collarbones and the elongation of the spine. Let the head follow. And again, just meeting whatever's arising. What tenderness, compassion, stability can you offer in this moment? Using the breath as a little portal to the next. Every conscious breath. Every time we give it our attention for just a moment, we're practicing into our agency. Use the in-breath to come out of the rotation. And let's switch sides. Left foot to the outside of right knee. I'm just tucking my heel under my blanket. Sit up nice and tall. Again, let the head come with the rest of the spine. And letting things be as they are. Not fighting against whatever might even be happening in your body. Most of you know I have a very severe neck injury, and one side of my poses is so much different. But the way that I approach that or speak about it, the focus that I put on that is what changes the experience. Can you be with things as they are? Choose the context and work into what you want there to be in the future. Loving what is and becoming who you want to be all at the same time. Use your in-breath to come center. Extend the legs into a forward fold again. You can have blocks if you wish. It's a choice to stop rebelling and to start co-creating. Take your arms up and then fold forward over your legs. And if you wish, you can place blocks on the end of the feet or a block under your forehead. But tuck in on yourself, nourish the kidneys. In the old mythology, a crone is one with clear seeing. She wears the crown of clarity. And that clarity of vision is understanding the cyclical nature of things, the birth and the death and the spring and fall's descent. And being able to hold the knowing of destruction and creation, to drink tears with gusto and move into the next moment, knowing endings are beginnings, and being able to really hold everything. The word in Pali is upeka, it's to see with understanding. The whole of the forest, this is what invites us to equanimity. It's not a lack of feeling, it's full feeling. But it is being less taken and shaken by all the little details. And in these days of immense chaos, we have to learn to anchor and rest and to move from clarity. A couple more breaths. When you rise, make a frame over your head, opposite palm to opposite elbow, and sit up. Drop your hands. We'll take just a couple moments on our back, and then I will invite you to stay longer on your own if you have more time for a longer rest. I'm going to take a blanket. You can do this as well. And I'm rolling it just part way up. And that roll for this little gentle heart opening is going to go just at the base of my shoulder blades. I'm opening my arms to a goalpost. You can open to a T shape if you have the space in your room. Just this very subtle little lift of the back of the chest. Front of the chest, back of the heart. Let the feet fall open. And if this is bothering you in any way, you can skip the back bend and lay flat, support the knees, of course. But take some fuller breaths here. Notice if there's tension that is unnecessary in, for example, the face. You can move your jaw around. And then take some intentional sighs. The bigger the in-breath, the bigger the exhale will be. That act of letting go. When we make things wrong, we're not able to attend to them because we are trying to deny their existence. We're fighting, rebelling against. As soon as we accept whatever's happening, then from a place of clarity and calm, we can start to choose our next action, our next aligned action. Range comes from stability, not from flexibility. We become more mobile when we have a good base. In self, curious, kind, compassionate, creative self. In breath, in choosing our states, in our stability. Very good. Slide your feet to the floor slowly. If you need to finish class now, if you have more time to rest, please do. Otherwise, shift the hips to the right and roll to your left side over the blanket roll. Little moment in a gentle side stretch. Support your head under your elbow. When you sit up, bring your right hand to the floor. Drop your chin to your chest so your head is really the last thing to come up, and sit up slow. And sit in your cross-legged seat. Drop your chin, bring your hands to your body, close your eyes. We need to have a desperate desire to see life as it is. Beauty is receiving the world as it is, offering itself not as we wish it to be, and yet cultivating the world that we want through our actions, our attitudes, the states of mind that we hold, our compassionate listening. To all of your practices and to each of your hearts, I gently bow. Thank you so much for being here. Bless you and have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you next time.